So, ladies and gents, did you see my last video concerning this car? Did I seem a little bit disappointed? Well, that's because I was greatly disappointed at what actually happened on that video. But as I've always done, I've uploaded the failures as I do the successes, because I don't believe that there's any YouTubers up there that don't have any failures. Yes, you know who you are. If you upload just the successes, people will start to not believe you, you know. So, this video today is dedicated to you beautiful peeps and the RC community that is exceptional. I've got 6 really strong ideas and information concerning what happened on that day and hopefully how to rectify it. And I thought I would firstly say thank you to those that gave me the ideas, and also do it in front of you guys, because I don't want to do it behind the scenes and then suddenly go, ta-da, all fixed. I want those that actually had the idea to get the thanks for it. So, I've printed them out, and as you can see here, we can say, I get the feeling that your rear left wheel is not spinning as freely as the rest. Maybe an over-tighten the wheel nut, or a bad bearing. Now, if you all noticed in the video, it makes sense because it was always spinning to the left. So I thought we would do it on camera. So what I'll do is I'll turn it all on, and then I will just accelerate and see whether this one on this side stops quicker than that one on that side. I've not touched the car since that day. It's been up on the shelf left because of my frustration. So, come on. Yes, the fans are a little bit noisy, sorry about that. Right, let's go. Ooh. That looks identical to me. Yeah, that's identical. So really good idea, but not the case. However, is it the fronts? Because of course, just having a slightly binded up front could be causing it. So, are we in shot? Let me just turn off the controller as well. So, this is the right. This is the left. I'm gonna have to fast forward through this section because it may take a while. They seem to be running freely. So thank you so much for the idea, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So, the next one is make sure that the gyro is correcting in the right direction. That you can actually set it. The gyro may be set to compensate in the wrong direction. So as you try to correct it, it's correcting in the wrong direction, right? Now, this is a very, very valid point, because up until the night before recording that video, it was actually reversed. So every time you turned left, the gyro compensated left, which is obviously incorrect. The only way I could rectify this was by mounting the receiver upside down. That's just ridiculous, right? But in the settings, and let me tell you, there are lots and lots and lots of settings on this. Oh, 23 settings, all right? I searched all over them to find the setting to reverse the gyro, and couldn't find it, right? And they've even got a section, and this is what really bugged me, they even have a section called reverse. You go in there and there's nothing about gyro. Where is it? Those of you that have this control already know, but there's actually a button on the receiver and you need to double tap it and then it reverses the gyro. What? All those settings and they put a physical button there. So anyway, I will turn it on, and again, we will see whether it's doing it in the right direction. Again, haven't touched or adjusted this. So, see how the wheels are compensating. So it's doing exactly what it should be doing, in the correct direction. Let me just show you guys. Did I go past gyro? No, there we go. It's on 100%, right? and then set that to VR. I actually don't know what the difference is to that. Maybe the VR stands for very rubbish, because it didn't seem to help on the day whatsoever. However, as you can see, yes, it was set in the right direction. So again, thank you for the really good idea. When I read it, I was instantly like, no, has it reversed itself again? Because I've never pressed that button. I didn't know about that button, so I've either knocked it or it reversed itself. So, great idea, but I'm afraid no, not on this occasion. Keep them coming. So, on the transmitter, there is something called throttle speed. I assume that that's what that stands for. Or THSPD. It'll smooth out the throttle. Try speed 1 set to 0. If it's set to 0, surely it's doing nothing. Again, it's not me going like, oh, it's me going like question mark. I don't know. It sounds logical to me. But if I again show you in the settings here, where was that? There we go. Throttle speed, and it's off. So I will leave it off, and we will just see what happens with the throttle right now. And as you saw, the actual video itself was frustrating to say the least. So, right, so see the rear wheels versus me accelerating. So now, throttle speed, speed 1 and set to 0. I'm assuming that my finger's adjusting something else, but we'll see. Right, okay. Speed 1, 0. That looks the same to me. That definitely looks the same to me. Let's try 100%. Okay, off. Actually, that seemed a little bit more responsive. Oh, no, I'm not putting it on number 2. I don't know what number 1 is right now. That seemed really responsive, didn't it? Right, that's back to 0. Can you imagine what speed this car's going to do if I can get it under control? So I can't see really what that's doing, I'll be honest with you, but I'm not saying it's not working, I'm saying I can't see the difference right now, but I will continue to mess around with that one. So, once again, thank you so much. Move on to the next one. Does the Nitro version handle any better? If so, perhaps you can look at the difference in weight distribution. Again, I thought this was a really, really smart idea because it makes a lot of logical sense, doesn't it? Weight distribution, as we know, makes a very big difference. So I'm taking out the lighter battery and putting in a heavier battery because that's what we had in on the day. I know I've watched videos of other people that have the Nitro version, so I don't have to, I already know that it does handle better, but is that just because it's slower, less power? So we'll put this to one side for now, and then we will bring the, sorry about that, Nitro version in. And it's the same shell that we'll put on both. Well, I mean, put on both, I say that, this is there. So it's not gonna go all the way down, as you see, but we'll get a rough idea. Right, center of gravity, where are we? I need to mark this afterwards, don't I? Have some rough idea. So, ooh. I mean, not an easy job, but I would say, depending on where it's rocking on my bone on my fingers, about there. So, where are my tools? What? I don't even have my ruler up here. What's going on? So, from the blue end to that long. So, shell off. I didn't bother putting fuel in. The reason for that was at some point you will be running your car on lower fuel, won't you? So, if suddenly it got to lower fuel and then started to spin out wildly, a la electric version, then that wouldn't make no sense, would it? So, anyway, right. So, everything, let's just put that in there. So, I shall actually mark this at the same point and try to pick it up at the same point. Do, do, do. Of course, that's in the way. Should have marked it on the other side, but you get the point. I'll do it roughly. Actually. Yes, I know this isn't the most, like, technical way of measuring this center of gravity, but, you know, I'm trying. Let's go. I would say, I'm going to lift this over and show you all. That's the mark, that's where my finger is, but for sure it's about 5 millimeters center of gravity forward versus the nitro. Yeah, I'd say about 5 millimeters, no more than that. So I'm going to have to say no. I don't think it is anything to do with the center of gravity. That's a little bit too close for me. Had it been wildly off, then maybe, but no. So thank you once again. I'm not saying no definitely, because I've always, you know, I have been wrong before, but for now. Okay, now, I had issues with control problems with the transmitter when I used foil tape on the inner shell of my car, says Mr. Paul. And as some of you may already know, look what I put inside my car. It's all shiny. And there's a lot of logic to that, isn't there? Let's be honest, putting metal in between the signal that you're trying to get through could potentially cause a problem. But the caveat to that is, of course, that once I put new batteries in, I didn't have another problem. So once again, on this one, I'm going to say very logical, very, very good idea, and something I didn't even think about. But when I've used it on other cars, I haven't had any issues, and when I changed the batteries on this one, I didn't have any issues. But I am now aware of it, so thank you, Paul. I am perfectly aware, and I will ensure that if I have any other issues, the first thing I'll do is rip off the tape and see if I still have that transmission sort of problem straight away. So, thank you again. And this is the last, but definitely not least, because you beautiful peeps are always helping me out, and I learn as much from you guys as you do from me. So again, thank you. Thank you to all of you. Could it be an issue with the camber toe settings of the wheels? So those of you that aren't quite sure about what that is, camber is angle of the wheel. I think that's negative and positive, or it could be wrong, either or. It's the camber of the wheel, and the toe settings is left and right. So some cars you have them slightly in, slightly out, etc, etc. So as soon as I was reading that message, I was once again, of course that's logical. Formula One cars are so sensitive to camber settings and toe settings. I mean, I know this isn't a real Formula One car. I mean, I'm not stupid, but it could, of course, be sort of transferring over to the model. So I ran upstairs instantly to go, oh, what are they set at? And then realised that they are all set and cannot be adjusted. There are no adjustments for toe, or are there? No, well, I mean, there are. No, that's steering. That's steering, so forget that. The toe is set. Let me show you. The camber is set because you can't move the wheel in or out, and the toe is set because there is no adjustment in or out. That's for the rear. And the toe settings at the front would essentially be you adjusting the steering, and that is possible, but I'd set the steering 100% forward before we left. Maybe setting it inwards could help, I don't know. And you can't adjust the toe. Again, because they're just solid pieces of plastic, which again is very frustrating. I did write on the comment back, I believe, that, you know, I will look at buying adjustable parts, but then I see here that where would I buy adjustable parts? These are quite thin, and I don't think you could start cutting them and drilling into them because they are so thin. So great idea, but there's not a lot of adjustments that I have here. One that I did notice on the way upstairs was that even with the amount of running that we did, because as I said on the video, we did another like 80% of what you saw on the video, the tyres are still as shiny as what they were. I was hoping that they'd sort of got some grooves, you know, slices into them, some scratches, etc., to give it some grip. But I mean, even the centre line there is still there, and at the front they look out of the mould, quite frankly, with this dust on them, that they've just come out of the mould. So I need a desperate solution to these. Somebody mentioned about making up your own. Great idea. How? I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna have to watch somebody else's YouTube video that I try to avoid doing so I don't get accused of stealing ideas. But obviously I can't just put foam on these because this is tiny versus the whole diameter of the wheel. So God knows the thickness of the foam that you would require for that. So I had the idea of using something like this, but of course then I'm losing the thickness of the rear wheels versus the front, but I'm not really bothered by that. It's not that far off, is it? But I'm gonna have to fill that gap to get it a flat surface to put the foam onto. And where the hell do you buy the foam? I don't know. Again, I'm hoping you guys have some of the solutions here. But I will still continue to see if I can find foams elsewhere, because I think that will be the easiest solution. Again, it's just adding one more potential failure area to it if I try and do it myself on this occasion. But I'm not giving up with this car. This one just needs to get over to Matthew, but he's extremely busy right now. That's why I haven't done anything with the Nitro version right now. I'm having to rely on him because he is the expert and he works very hard. So I have to fit into his schedule. So that one is definitely a priority for me when we can get to it. And it will be interesting to see how it handles with exactly the same tyres. Obviously, I'll take the wheels off, put them on that one and see how it handles. If that works 100% without issues, I'm gonna go mad. As you can see, I've got lots of spare tyres. These ones have not been glued because I didn't know about the glue quality on these, but they seem to have handled fine. But again, I didn't get above 60 kilometers an hour. Very frustrating. But this is what happens when you convert something, ladies and gents. This is the problem with it. Do you think they need balancing these? Look at that. Could it be a wheel balancing problem? Because of course, if your wheel is doing that egg-shaped thing as it does, that could be enough to upset it and throw it out. But I was looking at getting some wheel balancing clay, which would work great on these because there's not a lot of room inside there, and maybe that will help as well. Do you think, this is a good question for you all, those that are in the know obviously, do you think I could add a layer of foam just to these, glue it directly over these tyres, obviously rough it up with the roughest sandpaper I've got, and then add a layer of foam to the outside? That could be an idea. it could also be an incredibly stupid idea. So again, let me know in the comments below. Very much appreciated. So once again, thank you so much for the RC community. You guys are absolutely fabulous. And again, I do learn a lot. There is no such thing as a silly question when you're writing it in the comments below. And there is no such thing as John probably knows this. I won't write it because John probably doesn't know this. I learn constantly from you guys. So thank you so much. Keep the ideas, keep the comments coming. If there's any ideas that you have for a video in the future, post it below, send it to my email address. I'm pretty sure you all know what that is already, but it's in the community section of my YouTube channel. I don't want to say it out loud because I'll get loads of spam. And I'm looking around frantically for something that I've forgotten, but I don't think I have. And no, these will not just fit on because they're hitting the chassis there. That's why I can't just put these straight on, which is a real shame because it would be nice just to see. Problem I've got obviously is at the rear is 17mm hexes, but at the front they are just 2 bearings. So I need to figure a solution out for that as well. Done. Excellent. Sorry about that slap. If it was loud, I'll lower it when I'm editing the video. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share the video, get some ideas. Please share them. Desperately need them. And I thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Bye-bye.